Howdy, folks. Welcome to another day in the Milky Way, and I about let it get away. We're sitting here talking and happened to look down. It was 10 o'clock, time to roll. But as always, Trinity of Truth Saturday. How y'all doing?
Good.
Very good. Awesome. Good to be with such amazing people.
Absolutely. Lord, let me get my ducks in a row. Usually I'm ready to go. And like I said, that one kind of snuck up on me.
Did me too. I was like, oh, shoot.
Well, Kent had to find some Wi-Fi, so he just kind of joined us and trying to catch up with him real quick. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Ken, I tell you what, man, if you ever can't make it, man, just holler. Like, I really appreciate it, and I'm so glad you did. But if you can't make it, man, shoot.
Oh no, that's okay. That's okay. I was planning on being here for this. I was supposed to be back about an hour and a half ago. It's just the highway was a absolute freaking blizzard. It was crazy. So just crawling up the highway. So that's why it took so long.
Are y'all getting snow there, or are you just talking about it was a madhouse?
No, it was snow. It wasn't snow all day, but just coming back from where I had to go a couple hours. So I was a couple hours away from Calgary because I'm in Calgary for right now until for probably another 2 months till I'm back out on the West Coast. But yeah, it just was like this freak blizzard that hit. So people were driving like, snails up the highway. So I was actually passing them, I was just in let's just go for it mode. So but it was a little sketchy out there.
Driving in snow doesn't bother me at all. I mean, you just have to be a little bit more mindful. I mean, and not think your car's going to respond as quick as it normally does.
Exactly. And I have a 4-wheel drive, but I'm driving van for this, so it's just front wheel drive, so it's not quite as good. But
hey, I got a Honda, and let me tell you, them things I swear, I think you could get a Honda to the top of Everest.
Absolutely.
I mean, them things will go anywhere.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome.
Anyway,
we should attempt that, eh? I don't think that's ever been done to the top of Everest in a Honda.
I ain't had this Honda too long. If I'd kept the old one, we may have attempted it in that one. not in the new one, no.
Awesome.
Well, anyway, folks, tonight I want to start off. We've got a few of us here right now, probably the ones that would be interested anyway. I want to talk a little bit about the Arkansas crystal dig to start off. I've decided, and there's a few factors involved with this, that I'm going to put the crystal dig off till probably third week of September. Reason being, it's not because of the corona thing going on. That's the cold. But anyway, my reasoning behind it is, number one is because I really need to get a hard count on exactly how many people are going, because, originally I'm not going to charge anything for all that. But I need to come up with some way where I can actually get a true number. So what I was thinking of doing, number one, like I said, to take care of some deposits, but also to figure out how many is going to be joining us, is maybe ask for, $15, $20 deposit, something just to let me know that you're going to go. So number one, it would give me time to figure all that out, plus get the logistics worked out. And number two, I'm also getting ready to have a back surgery, as many of y'all know. And it's supposed to be non-invasive, and it's not really supposed to affect me much, but you know how that goes. So I don't want to get all this worked up and scheduled for May and then turn around and, y'all get to go and I'm laying in a hospital or something. So,
yeah.
I'm not trying to be stingy or anything, but I kind of like to do this too. So anyway, like I said, I figured that would give people more time to get their ducks in a row. What was you going to say, Trini? Go ahead.
No, as I said, it would not be good if you couldn't attend.
No,
it would not be good.
Yeah. So anyway, if y'all could, God, I can't believe I'm getting ready to ask for more emails after this sending out all those copies of the books. But if you could, please send me an email at milkywayweekly@gmail.com and let me know if you truly are interested. I'm not asking for any money right now or anything like that, but just, let me know and only send me this email if you're honestly truly going to go. So send me that email. That way I can kind of start getting a number up. Because like I said, there's a few things with, deposits on hotels and stuff that I'm going to have to take care of. So that's going to give me a better way to try to get a fix on that.
Yeah, get some numbers.
Yeah.
Sure.
So anyway, I hope, like I said, there seems like there was going to be a lot of interest in it, and I hope there continues to be. And to be honest with you, the only thing that I was kind of looking forward to doing the May is because when it comes to digging crystals, it helps, it gets muddy and nasty, but it helps when it rains. And, there's more rain than the spring and all that. And, that was one reason I was truly wanting to do it in the spring. But with the way summers are around here rolling up into October now, we'll be getting some rain then, hopefully. If not, we'll do our little rain dance and we'll bring some in.
Yeah, we'll make
Right
it.
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
Yeah.
So anyway,
absolutely, I'm game for whenever that works for me. So that's still a pretty good time because I'll be rolling in the Sprinter van down to there. So I've got a house on wheels in that thing, so it's good.
Oh yeah, I like I said, I know it's going to be a good time. So, but now I will say, folks, I'm getting a little dirty. You don't want to take your Sunday's best with you.
Yeah, and playing the dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that is definitely no problem with me. I
like it too. I think it'll be fun.
Well, I tell you what, it's looking like Monday night is, that's when I'm starting off the Higher Minds reading, and I sent out close to 130 copies. So
wow.
Yeah, so I'm hoping there's quite a few that's going to be joined us.
Wow,
right
Monday night. Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I sent out a couple today, so there's still some filtering through. But regardless, folks, whether you got it or not, I'm starting Monday because I know a lot of y'all are already up to like chapters 7 and 8. Come on now, give me a chance to get. Yes, people are digging into it, so it's one of those.
I get with it.
Yeah, well,
I better get with it too.
Well, to be honest with you, I've not read the book outright. I did the courses. So I've never read this book. So it's me reading it for the first time, the way it's going to be presented here. Yes. So, I mean, y'all wait and read it along with me.
Right on. Right on. Excellent. I like it like that anyways. Group reading. That sounds good. I'm good
super fun.
Well, like I said, I'm going to incorporate, some of the little activities and things that we did as it comes up in the book. I'm assuming that it should come up like that because that was one thing he talked about a lot during the seminar was his book. So
this is gonna be awesome.
Yep.
Excellent.
Well, cool. Well, God, I don't know. I think I waited too long to see who's here. I guess I could give it an attempt. I'll give it an attempt, and then we're going to get right into it, folks. So this is something, as y'all know, we touched on a little bit last week, but it's something that's been in my mind for a while. And then after I had that message come through, I'm telling you, folks, this prophecy is talking about us, but we'll get into that after I see who's here. Oh, boy, I am behind. Here we go. Fast mode. Truth and Me, Capri Cornish, James LaCour Jr., Cheesesteak 22, Big Al, Genevieve, David Berry 75, Deborah Sloan, Jaw Way, welcome. Never seen you here before. Sorry I had to say that.
Yeah.
Who else we got? Delaney, how you doing? Brian Lunsford, the Cosmic Convergence. Good to see you, buddy. Jill Jarrett.
Yeah.
Desert Rose, how you doing? Shannon Kling. Pure Love Ascension, Robin Hill, okay. Rebecca Glacknoff, and thank you very much.
Right on.
Rebecca donated $20, so thank you so much, hon. And I did get in contact with Deborah Tucker for you, so she should be getting in contact with you. Let's see, Jesse McCartney, Miss Tribal 444 sent your copy out today. Bridget Williams, Tree of Life, keep on growing. What's going on, Edwin? Star Eagle, good to see you. Project Skyfalls. Debbie Bell, welcome back. Who else we got going? Miss Mary Wins, my PR. Deborah Trudeau, good to see you. Who else we got going? I told you I let it get a little behind. I'm feeling it though. I'm getting there. Jana Armstrong, Amanda B.
Right on.
Yep.
Hi, Amanda.
The family is here.
Hey, everybody.
Absolutely.
Hey.
Yeah, that's quite a good group of people there. So that's awesome.
There's Miss Sally Beard, Jen's, Think Agape, Love Always and Forever. Whew. Lyndall Davison, how you doing? Okay, I'm caught up. That wasn't too bad. Like I said, I had to go fast mode though. So real quick before I start reading off on that, to either one of you all, what's your understanding of the Rainbow Prophecy?
Oh, I thought it was beautiful. The first time I ever read it, I thought it was absolutely beautiful. And it resonated with a prophecy that I heard from a child, and they read out of the Bible, and they talked about like the rainbow warriors, but they spoke of them as the ones who would wear the rainbows, that we would become the rainbows. And they said that it would be like the coat of many colors, like all these different people would be wearing different colors of the rainbow, and they were describing our aura. And so I think that the rainbow warriors, it's going to be in their aura, and I think it's part of the destiny of their soul and why they came here. And I think that's us.
That's funny you say that. I put that video out yesterday. We're the ones we've been waiting for, and I put an image in there, and it showed the macabre, the aura, and the toroidal feel and all that, and it says they're all one and the same.
Right.
Yeah.
And they are. It's just
Right.
like when we talk about religion and things like that, it's all just a different interpretation. Different lipstick on the same pig.
I think the most profound part of the Rainbow Warrior prophecy was that they talked about how these warriors would be hidden within every single creed and color and race, that they would be scattered amongst the world, and that they would come together as one tribe of the Rainbow Warriors. I was like, that's so beautiful.
Kind of sounds familiar, eh? I mean, it's kind of one thing that I've been saying pretty much ever since I started doing podcasts, is that we are the ones, and we need to start looking inward so that we know who we are. Like, we're what you would call the saviors, and it's the group of us, if you want to call it the Christ, if you want to call it the rainbow warriors. I mean, the thing is that source creation doesn't limit things to one particular expression or name of what things truly are, and that's that we would be what would be called the fearless ones. And I don't mean that as if we all haven't experienced our share as we're learning here, but to know ourselves, to remember and acquaint with who we truly are, should shed the fear. And it's basically the system that we're in, if you want to call it the archonic system, or call it whatever, the Luciferian, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of an artificial system where the beings want to take away from our power, and basically we have to just step through that and understand who we are, and then the power of the artificial goes away, and we can get back on track in the natural. It's kind of like we're here to kind of as a rescue mission, as per se, even a rescue mission for ourselves, and what I have always stated as the natural children that are here. And this prophecy obviously just pretty much lays that out, exactly like that.
Let's see if I can get let's see if I can pull up the link to this. I'll pull it up here in a minute. Let's start off though. I do know that this article is from the website Ancient Pages, I'm pretty sure. Yep, Ancient Pages. And I will post a link here in a minute after I get done reading it. But like you were saying, Trina, I mean, it describes all of us, and many colors coming back. And like I said, I'll read it. It's only a few paragraphs, folks, so just bear with me. Like I said, you're gonna have to get used to listening to me anyway. So the Native American rainbow prophecy offers an intriguing and different view of the future world. The rainbow is a very important symbol to many ancient cultures. Native American Indians regarded the rainbow as a sign of the great mystery and the future. Prophecies and stories of many nations, from the Hopi and Zuni in the southwest to the Cherokee in the southeast, from the Cree in the far north and the great Sioux nations of the plains to the Mayan people of the far south, the rainbow is a focal point of spiritual belief. According to Native American beliefs, under the symbol of the rainbow, all races, religions will unite to spread the wisdom of living in harmony with each other and with all creatures. As Native Americans, we believe the rainbow is a sign from the Spirit in all things. It is a sign of the union of all people, like one big family. The unity of all humanity, many tribes and peoples, is essential. The Cree, Hopi, and Sioux Indians speak about mighty rainbow warriors that will inhabit our planet, and in the future they will come in the time of the Great Awakening. A Native American prophecy tells us that when the earth is ravaged and the animals are dying, a new tribe of people shall come into the earth from many colors, classes, creeds, and who by their actions and deeds shall make the earth green again. They will be known as the warriors of the rainbow. Mm-hmm. The Cree tribe tells of an old woman named Eyes of Fire who prophesied that one day, because of the white man's greed, there would come a time when the fish would die in the streams, the birds would fall from the air, the waters would be blackened, and the trees would no longer be. Mankind as we know it would all but cease to exist. There would come a time when the keepers of the legends, stories, cultural rituals, and myths, and all ancient tribal customs would be needed to restore us to health, making the earth green again. Mm-hmm. They would be mankind's key to survival. They were the warriors of the rainbow. There would come a day of awakening when all the people of all the tribes would form a new world of justice, peace, freedom, and recognition of the Great Spirit. According to Manitowoc American Indian Council, the warriors of the rainbow would spread these messages and teach all peoples of the earth, or the Eloi, that they would teach them how to live the way of the Great Spirit. They would tell them of how the world today has turned away from the Great Spirit, and that is why our earth is sick. These warriors would give the people principles or rules to follow to make their light path or path light with the world. These principles would be those of the ancient tribes. The warriors of the rainbow would teach the people of the ancient practices of unity, love, and understanding. They would teach of harmony among the people on all four corners of the earth. Like the ancient tribes, they would teach the peoples how to pray to the Great Spirit with that love that flows like the beautiful mountain stream and flows along the path to the ocean of life. Once again, they would be able to feel joy in solitude and in councils. They would be free of petty jealousies and love of all mankind as their brothers, regardless of color, race, or religion. They would feel happiness enter their hearts and become as one with the entire human race. Their hearts would be pure and radiate warmth, understanding, and respect for all mankind. Nature and the Great Spirit. They would once again fill their minds, heart, and souls and deeds with the purest of thoughts. They would seek the beauty of the Master of Life, the Great Spirit. They would find strength and beauty in prayer and solitude of life. Their children would once again be able to run free and enjoy the treasures of nature and Mother Earth, free from the fears of toxins and destructions wrought by the Yonegi and his practices of greed. The rivers would again run clear, the forests be abundant and beautiful, the animals and birds would be replenished, the powers of the plants and animals would again be respected, and conservation of all that is beautiful would become a way of life. The poor, sick, and needy would be cared for by their brothers and sisters of earth. These practices again would become a part of their daily lives.
Yes.
I'm not going to continue, but as you can see there,
I think is so beautiful, and it's so needed for people to understand what's happening at this time. This
It's
is
so
happening. The
it's so
birds,
exact.
yeah, the birds are falling from the sky. We're seeing rivers and oceans turn to red. We're getting fungal and bacterial infections that are super, super serious. We've got a, potential pandemic happening. I mean, it is really happening right now. And I saw my whole life, the Lord always told me, he says, you came here to be like Jesus. And it was everyone, and it was us. It was the groups of people that want to save the earth, that want to see things return back to the old ways. And I saw that so much of this was going to be a hard transition to return back to these ways. But if we start to really support the earth will really support you back.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So we need to remember that we are her children, and we can connect to her, and we can make cooperation with her that will strengthen her to such a degree that there could ever never be any harm to come to you, because she will protect you, because she has everything that you need
Yes.
on her planet. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, and something that's stated in there, and we all have to come to this understanding, and I know that we all haven't come there yet, and I respect, and I love all of the children here as we come to this, but there's a real understanding here. We're talking about protecting all of nature. We're talking about protecting all of the natural. We're talking about protecting the animals here. We're talking about protecting the water here. We're talking about
Oh my
protecting
God,
the
guess
trees
what?
here.
Guess what I just heard yesterday? Okay, there was someone sent out a video, and it was Project Camelot, Carrie Cassidy, and it was on Shungite. And she had these two scientists and researchers on the show. And I don't know why, but it's already been removed by the user off YouTube. So she was hitting on some powerful information. And she wrote a book. I know the name of the book was called The Shungite Reality, I think. And she's a quantum physics study. She studies quantum. And they literally, she was telling a story about how there was a gold mine accident of, contaminated toxins that accidentally got into the waterways from the King gold mine. And it was threatening to enter the Colorado River and all of the southwestern territories. And it would have literally poisoned all of the drinking water for the entire Southwest. And they were kind of freaking out because they didn't know what to do about this. Well, these scientists had been working on a shungite frequency generator, but they hadn't made it in physical life yet. They had the blueprints, but they hadn't yet created it. So she said that what they did was they called forth the angelic kingdom, the divas, the gods, the all spiritual help from every aspect that you could imagine, and the Mother Earth herself, and says, we need to stop this, and we need to stop this now. And what they did was they created the generators in their mind in the etheric realms using their imagination. They got together and they created these generators and placed them in all of the major tributary vein interlockings from the gold mine out. And they did this energetically, and they watched all of this orange, yellow, polluted, toxic water literally dissolve.
Yep.
And they did this with their imagination. They did this with their mind. And they literally stopped the contamination of all of our waterways through promoting and sending forth the frequency of shungite, which, shungite comes from a meteor. It's not of Earth, but it's on Earth now because of the meteor that brought it to us. And the shungite properties of purifying water, that's been known about for quite some time. So I thought that was profound information, and I'm not too shocked why it's already gone, because this is what I know that we can do.
Yeah,
they're pulling a lot of videos like that offline. Anything,
they do not want
crystal healing, any they call woo woo.
Yes, well, they don't want people to know that this, when we get together and we decide to send the Ho'oponopono prayer, which is, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you. It's a beautiful prayer of, it's basically a cry to the universe in gratitude and love, saying, help me, something's wrong and we need your assistance. And we know that you know more than we do. So we're going to give it to you in gratitude, apology, and love, and say, now it's going to be healed through love. It's a beautiful concept, that prayer. And I've seen so many powerful healers that use it. And it's so simple. It's like, you can even accomplish the same thing with the simple thing of thank you, saying thank you to water. If we all focused on thanking the water of the oceans and focused healing energy to the coral reefs, we could regenerate them with our minds.
Yeah,
Right.
there's, gratitude and love. That's two of the strongest emotions out there.
It's untouchable.
Imagination is moving in the spirit. So these
Absolutely.
people are moving in the power of the spirit. And
Absolutely.
then, from the rainbow prophecy, the great spirit or source spirit or natural spirit, that then you can move in the natural. That's why the natural and moving is, see, what they're doing is remembering themselves outside of the construct and bringing the power of the true spirit to the construct to heal the natural within it, that's trapped within it. And yeah, it is so powerful. I mean, you the move, you can move mountains, all of these things. This is working in the spirit. Working in the physical is like, compared to working in the spirit, is like is like a needle in a haystack of needles, whereas
Well,
the spirit
it's
can move the whole
basically,
thing.
the way I'm starting to see it is like the spiritual part. If you want to look at it as a describable term, you need to see it as quantum. It's the
Yeah.
quantum field. So the spiritual field has multiple possibilities. It's operating on multiple positions at the same time within the timelines. It's a powerful aspect. And it's like, I was learning about the E8 crystal and how we're actually projecting our consciousness to our avatars through this E8 quasi crystal, which is completely quantum in the 8th dimension. So if this is like how we are physically on this plane through that projection from that quasi crystalline intelligence, that's the true aspect of your consciousness being filtered down into matter. This is confirmation that through these invisible, imaginative quantum states, this is literally how we're going to be able to drive this reality into the direction that we want it to go.
Listen, this cracks me up, but I was sitting here thinking, listening to you, and why it's funny to me is because how, the progression of mankind has come along now, and math and sciences is more popular now. But listen to you talk about, the quantum states, and really, to understand spirituality, you kind of have to understand physics and the quantum state.
Yes.
So, if somebody back in the 1800s heard you talk, they would think you were alien.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they'd be like, what the hell is she talking about? But now we have a grasp on it. And like I said,
yeah,
I wouldn't be able to comprehend it if I didn't have some kind of grasp on physics and the, quantum fields, quantum entanglement, and all that. So it's funny how we progressed to get to this level of understanding so we could understand what we're getting ready to go through.
That's what I think this whole rainbow warriors are. I literally, like, the way it was shown to me was, like the starseed concept. There were like certain beings that were literally recruited, like they were called to come and save Earth.
Well, like
And
I've said before, it's not by accident, with the crystal network that we're strategically placed throughout the world.
yes,
Right.
and I'm telling you, and I think we all came here from different planetary systems because we're all holding different gifts, different talents, different abilities that we've worked really hard to earn. So, and it's like all of us decided as a group that we were going to come in here with this huge mission to help repair and restore the earth, because we have those codes within us to transmute things. We literally were born with this genetic ability to create transmutation. And I think most of us who are of this group, these rainbow warriors, we are the ancient shamans. We are the priestess. We are the wizards. We are the kings. We are the ones from all different places throughout the universe who truly are. They're beings who were called to save the earth.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think it's being done on a multi-dimensional aspect, and you know,
Yeah.
we could be utilizing multiple avatars and multiple timelines right now to do such a thing, when you know, understand from physics and, you know, talking about the quantum, you know, that time isn't linear, it's moving in multi-directional. So yeah, we are multi-dimensional rainbow warriors, I guess you could exactly call that. And that's exactly it. Whether, you know, be in our DNA healing, or you know, I'm not really the best one to talk about the details of things. You know, I see a understanding for it in my mind's eye, but Trina is probably much better at explaining the details than me. I just know that that's what we are, and I know it's about following your inner guidance that's coming from you and coming from the Great Spirit, if you want to call it that. So that's, you know.
I got a quick question from chat. Truth in Me says, how is everyone working through this retrograde? Personally, I've been down to my back, but past 3 days, it's whooped my ass. I'm just going to be straight up honest. It has absolutely kicked my ass.
Mine too. I had 2 days and I felt like my freaking battery was just unplugged. I was just really drained. But today I felt really better. Today I felt a lot better energetically. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, I had some symptoms of things going on too. I try never to focus on my symptoms too much, like, but sometimes that, you know, I would say definitely even over the last, you know, especially if you add it to all of the different things over the last couple of years, I mean, you can actually feel changes going on in your body and stuff a lot, you know. So there's a lot of adjustments, because we're also, you know, the archonic structure that we're within. I mean, it's pretty easy to see that they're launching multiple attacks at all times. So
that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of integrating going on. You can tell.
Yeah, it's a lot of integrating going on. We're naturally adjusting to that. Like, we're naturally adjusting to the weapons formed against us, you know. Like, it is actually quite comical if you sit back and you literally look at just how much is being launched against us. And you know
what,
like,
though? You know, what I can see is an energetic lock with this. This is all about matching energy. I keep seeing this over and over again. And that's why they're like warriors of light, children of the rainbow. Get your shine on. Keep your frequency up, and you're bulletproof. Yeah,
I thought you were gonna say get your shit together, but
no, get your shine on.
That too.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta, like, seriously, now it's time to literally, you know, do some minimal preparations. Get ready for the unexpected, because I really think we might be getting to some get ready for the unexpected. But if you guys follow your intuition, you pay attention to your body, you keep your frequency up, you're going to be bulletproof through this. And the ones that are really operating in a low frequency band, I really think that this is going to be going after that. And literally, this is like what I saw many times. The Lord showed me, he's like, many of the things that they send against you will actually turn, and it will destroy the ones who sent it. So this
Yes.
is one of those potentials I'm seeing, because this is an energy lock. This is a frequency match. So also too, I keep hearing, if you feel like you're coming down with this funk, blast your body with 528 hertz and get away from the 60 hertz that's coming out of the 5G. Shut down the technology, get your body alkaline, boost your immune system, and blast your system with 528 hertz. I think it'll reset the body.
Real quick.
I couldn't agree more, Trina. I keep hearing it, and you know something? It's so funny because I think even to myself, how many times I ignore what I should be doing, because sometimes I get a little bit of maybe too much, where you're thinking, oh, you know, you can just think it away, but you know, the it's been constantly coming on me to get natural. Like get rid
Yes.
of the unnatural stuff, or else this is going to be very difficult on us. It's going to keep you slow. It's going to keep you, you know, it's going to keep you in the funk. It's going to keep you part of the weapons coming against us. But the natural, yes, the natural vibration, like, you know, you're talking the 528 hertz, the natural foods, get a lot of water in you and get alkaline, because they work through acidity in these bodies to really slow you down. So
seriously,
yes.
age old, every single doctor knows this. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda with some water. That really helps your body go alkaline. You can do testing and buy testing strips and test it on your body, and it really does work. And that's a key factor on helping you to fight off any kind of a viral thing. So, you know, not doctor's advice, just saying what grandma and aunts and cousins and my family, we've been doing it for years. And I know lots of physicians who swear by it. So,
Real quick, and then I'm gonna close this up. But this right here like tickle me to death, because y'all know me, I hate politics and stuff. And listen to this. Would this not be a beautiful world? The leaders of the people would be chosen in the old way, not by their political party or who could speak the loudest, boast the most, or by name calling or mudslinging, but by those whose actions spoke the loudest, those who demonstrated their love, wisdom, and courage, and those who showed that they could and did work for good of all, would be chosen as the leaders or chiefs. They would be chosen by their quality and not the amount of money they had obtained. This certainly sounds like an ideal future, but it is possible to create is it possible to create such a wonderful world? I think so.
I
I
know
think
so.
so.
I know so.
If
I know so.
we're on the verge right now, if you know, if we were really to look at it, what they're talking about, the greed, the ways, the capitalism, the everything against nature, it's wide open. It's there for everyone to see right now. It's no longer for us to give into any politics or anything that exists right now, because for you to understand, as a growing, if you want to call yourself a warrior or a rainbow warrior, you need to know that what we see in front of us right now is the broken system. There's nothing in that system for us. It is only what we talk about and comes from our heart as the change that needs to be within the system. We need to pull back our manifestation of this system. We need to let this system go and manifest exactly what we know in our heart. And that will bring apart the change.
Well, I was going to say, this is like the first place that we are absolutely, it looks like we're going to be forced into actually choosing, because we're getting sick, because we're getting toxic, you know, all these toxins and poisons, the pharmaceuticals in the water. We're just getting hit with so many chemicals that our bodies were not meant to process. This is affecting nature, the animal die-offs, the pollution in the water, the radiation in the ocean from the Fukushima. I mean, we've got a lot of stuff going on that has not been dealt with. And, you know, they're getting ready to start this campaign on more shots. And it's like, it is whatever they're doing right now is it's showing that people are not getting healthier, they're getting sicker. So I think the pushback is going to have to be, first of all, with protecting your own body, because if you don't start to protect your body from the poisons, you might not make it through, because these things are targeting your immune system. And with the
absolutely.
technology, I mean, the proof between the effects of what's going on between shot down immune systems and the correlation with this technology, it's just not a pretty picture. So with that, you guys, we got to start really pushing back on the until there's a little bit more proof to show that these things are actually helping and not harming. We need to hold the phone and say we need to reevaluate something, because this ain't right. And the fight's going to have to start with your own temple first, because if you don't protect your body, you can't protect the earth. They're going to go hand in hand. So you're going to need to start looking at how are you going to protect your own temple and try to get all the poisons and all of the frequencies, and because we're getting hit on multiple angles. So
Absolutely. That's bringing some new territories, some new days and stuff like that. We don't need remembrance days anymore. We don't need, political days anymore. You want to be a hero, you stand on what you know is right, and that is where you stand. We just have to let go of the system. It is
I think we might be forced
imperative.
to, when things go completely wrong and the governments, because they don't normally help. I mean, we saw what happened on Hurricane Katrina.
They don't help at all. They're the enemy.
No, there
right
was
now.
no help. So if things
No.
go really, really wrong, that's what I'm saying. You better be ready to be kind of taking care of yourself, because if you can't, you might be in trouble. And a lot of
Yeah.
that's going to be like, if you're on a lot of medications and stuff, if those keep you alive, that could be a problem, because it looks like they're trying to break the systems down, be it on purpose or not. It's definitely happening. I mean, people don't understand the wave of stuff that's going to start hitting without all this transport coming from China. This is where we receive most of our stuff.
Honestly, if you're not already aware of this, then there's no hope for
I
you.
know, right?
Just to be honest with you. I mean, look at everything going on. Like, y'all can think what you want to about this corona thing, but it started off with me and Trinity were talking about this before the show. It took care of Hong Kong and all that. This was a rollout to see if they could take care of that. Well, all these other riots are going around the world. So, hey, let's do a rollout. What's going on around the world? All these riots are getting quiet.
And
all
it's so
kinds
weird.
of money being made in the USA. And meanwhile, it's just the simple cold rolling through, and they're scaring the shit out of you about it. That's all this is.
Yes.
Yep.
So you can strike this video. I don't give a shit.
It does seem like there's a correlation between previous shots and whether or not you die from this. So it appears that all the people that had the most recent set of inoculations, those are the ones that are dying from this too.
Well, I'll be honest with you, and I'm not just being the grim reality reaper here, but I don't see any other way of there true to be a total transformation of what we're talking about, a spiritual revolution, without a total collapse.
That's right. That's what I've seen.
There has to be a collapse, and that's what we're here to bring about. And so when I say that it's collapsing, sit back, let it collapse. And by the way, with the whole corona thing, so we can all put it to bed until you can bring me somebody that that dies of the coronavirus, let's shut up about the coronavirus, because it's bullshit. It's bullshit. Nobody's dying in China. Nobody's dying in the US. Nobody's dying in Canada.
There may be a few
anywhere of it.
No, I think there are people dying.
There may be some dying, but it's no more than
Trina.
But people die of the common cold every year.
I'm not afraid of the coronavirus. That's nuts.
It's a cold. The only thing is I think it's got. I think it activates to previous things that were put into the body. So I think, like I said, I keep seeing that it's a it's a very selective thing. So if you haven't had a lot of previous shots, I don't think you've got what is needed for this thing.
It's constantly mutating too. That's why they're
just
getting
a cold, right? Like you said, it's just a cold. But
Yep.
I do think that they were putting stuff in the other ones that somehow piggyback with this one, and that's when you're going to have the problems.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I
and,
keep
you know,
being shown that by spirit over and over and over again. They're like, this ain't going to hurt you. It's going to hurt the ones that have had multiple shots because they've
that
got
are
one.
senior citizens or babies. If you're middle aged, it's not going to kill you.
Think about it, Brian, too. Those are the ones that are getting the most shots.
Yeah.
Infants and elderly, they're pumping them with the flu shots, the shingles shot, the hepatitis shot, this shot, that shot.
But how do you, here's the thing, only through manifestation and help can you possibly help people that volunteer themselves to these shots and stuff like that.
That's what
like,
I'm saying. This might be the perfect remedy because, you know, it's going to match vibration. People who want everything done for them and they're going, you know, away from trying to take care of their own bodies. Maybe that's going to be what, you know.
I got one thing to say about flu shots. When is the last time that the medical industry give you anything free?
Right. And now they'll pay you to take one. They'll actually pay you to take
Come on,
shot.
people, use your common sense there.
Right. Well, and the funny thing is with these viruses, they mutate. There is no inoculation that will ever truly get rid of the virus. So what is the point? It doesn't fix the
You're just weakening your system by adding another strain of the flu.
Right. And what's the big deal? Most of us are going to catch this anyways. It's airborne. So what's the big deal? It's like, let your body do its thing. Why do you need to inject artificial stuff in it with mercury and squalene and all these crazy chemicals that cannot have any safe levels in your body? It's like, I can't take those things. The last time I did, I went to renal failure. We have genetically allergic reactions to these things. Like they can kill you, fatality.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my uncle, he got polio from a polio vaccination. My nephew's autistic off the charts. He got 3 shots in one day. We've just had a laundry list of complications. And my dad got the shingles shot. He got the shingles 2 weeks later. Another nephew got the chickenpox shot, got the chickenpox 2 weeks later. So for whatever reason, we're very sensitive to these things. So it's like, we can't take them at all. And I think that might be what saves our lives, possibly.
Yeah, we're worried about people running around robbing convenience stores, but mass murderers run the medical system, and we, instead of doing something or standing up against it, we just run to, not we, but most people just run to them for the next solution. I feel bad. Okay, well, let me load you up again. I feel worse. Let me load you up some more.
You know, it's just like we always talk about, you know, it's like the powers that be, they have to tell you what they're doing because it's part of the rules. And they've said what they're planning to do, and it's from their words. It's literally from the CDC, from the World Health Organization, from Bill and Melinda Gates saying they want to eliminate a large amount of the population through shots and food. And they literally said this straight up, their words, not mine, not an embellishment, just a straight out printed, quoted, factual statement from these organizations stating they're going to get rid of people through this process. And people are signing up and agreeing to it when literally they're telling you that they want to kill people with these things. That's their words.
Yeah. What is the old saying goes? Something about, you know, back in wars and stuff with Stalin's, you know, you kill 1 million and you know, you're a leader, you know, you kill 1, you're a murderer or something like that. Like, it's just like, we are the forces that be are mass murderers.
I think we have a brain parasite. I think they've gone cuckoo.
Yes, they are cuckoo.
They're acting a little psychotic. I mean, that kind of behavior is like not normally looked at as sane.
No, I mean they've allowed their meat suit to be riddled with
Yeah,
demonic
tinkered
or
with a little
archonic
too much.
activity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little tinkering, a little too much tinkering.
A little bit too much tinkering into the wrong place, and they're stuck in tinkering land. And
Well,
but
it's just like even down to the most important part of this creation, which is sound. All matter forms through vibrational codes. So sound is like the foundation of creation in this realm. Matter is
It's what
really
forms matter.
by vibration. And Rockefeller, they determined, all those years ago to change our musical frequency from 432 to 440. So
right.
they literally collectively showed us way back then that they had a very serious agenda to start to harm us, because 440 is known to harm you.
Right.
432 is in harmony with Earth. And what gave them the right to change our musical frequencies? What gives them that right to change these things into where it's harming rather than helping? No one
Right.
should be in any kind of power over us that literally has ill intentions and plans to do serious harm to us.
I mean, we're one big experiment, right?
Here you go. You said it. You hit it right. What gives anybody the right to govern, police, or militarize any other being? What you read in that with the Rainbow Warrior and what they're talking about, there is no government. That is leaders by just example of the right way. That is not what we're here with. That's not what none of us are governed by right now. Like, think about this stupid.
We want to lose government and we want to adopt a theocracy.
Yeah.
Which is a rulership based upon the study and concepts of God. So that should be the ruling property, should be God, and God in its creative, beautiful aspects. It's that's why they say in God we trust. They have us worshiping the untrue God. The real
That's
God,
right. That's
the real
right.
God is us. We are the God here in this realm right now, because we manifest, we do, we create, we give life, we procreate. It's us. So here we are God. So this should be run by God, which is the same foundation of our actual republic constitution that says we the people. In order to form a more imperfect, yes, that is we the people. So that's the true, but it's been taken out of God and it's been twisted into a logo and turned into a corporation. And that's where everything got screwed up, because now there's no honoring of the laws of nature, because God in its foundation, first of all, is about creation, and creation is governed by laws of nature.
Natural law, the laws of nature.
Nature,
exactly.
laws of nature.
Man's law of nature,
Yes.
and so, and it even goes deeper in this particular aspect of the matrix, where they've twisted it even into the animal kingdom and everything. It's quite a, but this is it. The best thing I could ever see here is what everybody fears the most: the whole thing falling apart. That's the best we got. That's the best we got. Well, we're here. And everybody still fears it. Even within these groups, we fear it. But really, it's the best we have. And I'm inspired actually by tonight's, as I always am, and it reinforces something that's coming through to me. We've just got to change. We have to be that example. We have to be that.
All we have to do is we come together and we intend it and we focus together as a group. Like you were talking about doing the karaoke.
Yeah.
Maybe like on a Monday night. I don't know if anybody in the community like plays the drum or anything, but literally, if we sat together just on this community platform and all just sat and listened to a drum together at the same time and focused on something together at the same time, we would literally have a measurable effect upon this planet.
Oh, absolutely.
Start doing that.
that's like, I've gotten together and, not meditating in the same room, but like get together with groups of people and just meditate. And maybe sometimes, maybe have a keyword or a thought going into it. Most of the time,
Yeah.
just going in and all willy nilly. And it's funny after you come out of it and start talking, the similarities in the paths that you take, especially when you don't use a keyword or something, just go in willy nilly.
Yes. You end up
Yeah.
going on the same lines of creation. It's amazing because we're connected through our vibration and our magnetism, because like attracts like. So we're running in the same consciousness rivers most often as this group, because we are a family.
Yes.
Indeed.
And that's exactly it. And set the small examples just to yourself. Don't worry about who or what. It's not about that. Just start doing it, and let this system crumble around you. Let the politicians, let the let it be. There's nothing great about being the greatest corporation. There's nothing really real about it. It's really artificial, actually. And we've been part of it. I get it. We've been part of it. We're partially indoctrinated into it, and just day by day, just let it go more. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? Like, maybe before we get off this and move to the next dimension of what we need to do, maybe we'll all be running around naked in the forest or something like that. Sounds good to me. Sounds better than this crap, but you know what I mean?
It's so funny. It's
I've
like
done it before.
this was shown to me
Exactly.
as like a living library. Like they showed me that the earth is so precious. It's such a beautiful planet. And it's one of the only ones that can even inhabit life on the outside of it. It's a beautiful planet, and it has so much diversity. And we're supposed to protect that and protect that diversity. And that, I mean, because this truly, I think, it was called paradise. This really was a garden.
Yeah.
And we need to bring that back.
Absolutely.
We are.
Yeah.
We are.
But it's going to get a little ugly first.
It's got to get a little ugly first. I mean, let it get ugly a little bit first. I mean, when we really truly understand ourselves in the natural order of things, and we really see the depths of how ugly it's got to get a little ugly to get it right again. And
well, that's why I think it's when we start to see that all these things that we put our faith in that would keep us safe and protect us, when they utterly, completely destroy the planet and disappoint you utterly and serve to have no protection for you, that's when people literally will start looking at each other instead of looking at the powers that be, because they will completely be disappointed in what's happened. So with that, then we'll learn to count on each other again. And when we start to count on each other, we built everything here anyways. It's
of course.
Yep.
So we can do anything we want as long as we start to stop giving our power to others and start giving it to the whole collective, to love and support and help each other bring back a garden and a place where you would not be scared to see your children grow up in, that you would actually rejoice in the potential of it. So that would be a big difference.
Absolutely. Because, I don't think for us, it's not going to be that big of a, hardship to when we do need to transition out of here. Let's not live in fear. Let's make changes at every aspect. You make changes now. Don't live in fear. Don't be afraid to become what you need to. Don't be afraid to follow what tells you, what your gut is saying, like, no, this is right, that's wrong. Oh, I got to do wrong because it fits into this system. We need to start making the right changes. We need to do the right thing. When your family and friends are yelling at you, trying to keep you in the system, but that this is the right thing, don't look at it as your friends and family. understand that they've been a little bit programmed and indoctrinated. And that's what's coming through them, not them, not those that you love. Sometimes you have to be tough against those that you love, you know, or you need to let them go for a period so that you can behave that way until the understanding of what you're doing, the bravery of what you do transmutes over to them and gives them the power to do the right thing too. So it's important.
It is. Well, y'all got a final thought for us? Hours come and go as usual.
Oh, yeah. Well, just you know, great to be here. I'll tell you something. When you were reading that Rainbow Warrior, and at different aspects of tonight's show, my chakra systems went off like crazy. So we got some truth nuggets here, and hopefully, you know, people can take those truth nuggets and do some with them. And you know, boy, it sure does sound like what you were reading there. If that's not our goal here, you know, in this incarnation, or at least our attempted effort of goal at this aspect, you know, to get it to there, then I don't know what is. That is the way it should be. And you know, it's not in all these corporations, it's not in all these countries, it's not in all of these unnatural practices and stuff like that. You know, it is bringing it back where the leaders are those that do things correctly by the heart, and that's a leader, not what we think is a leader. We need to get a different perspective back in our mind as to what a proper leader is.
Yeah, I think to bring all that back into balance, the new leaders are going to have to be the shamans and the priestess and the ones who know how to honor the old ways, the Native Americans, these indigenous tribes. They will be the leaders because they still have their connection to the planet and their connection. And that's what most of us, we've lost. We've given all of our power to gods outside of us and saviors and this and that. And we forgot that we are the power on this planet. And because we've given all of our power away and let, you know, greedy, evil people take our power and use it to their own advantage, they're destroying this beautiful planet. And we're the only ones that can stop it. And we do it with our minds, not any other way. It's going to come from your imagination and our collective power, because what we think about, we bring about. And that's
You know, we've all talked about how we all found each other and we feel like we're coming together for something. We've been talking about that for a while now, and now it's time for action, folks, and no time to drag your feet. Like I said, all these signs are here in front of us. It's up to you whether you want to pay attention or not. So keep that in your pipe and smoke on it. Until tomorrow night, I'll be back with Rebel Rose. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but it'll be a good show. And then Monday night, like I said, folks, we're starting up with the higher mind training. So until tomorrow, be the frequency you want to receive, folks. I love you all. Have a good night.